Hey guys, Dr. Snellgrove here, just recording a quick video about our oral report assignment, specifically uploading the first part, the intro. So my intention is to break this into parts a bit like we did with the actual technical report. It's probably going to go quicker, both in deference to how quick the semester is going, but also, as I noted before, like you're giving the oral report version of a report you've already made. So like all the research is done, you've got all the facts and stuff. It's really just turning this into kind of a speech form and, giving it, working on the speech techniques that are in the book that have been in some of the videos that we've uploaded. All right. Now, speaking of uploading, I want to rip this Band-Aid off because this is pretty much the only way we can make this work. I'm going to need you to send me your videos as YouTube links. Before you throw something through the screen at me, the reason for this, I've experimented with other options. Nothing keeps you from recording a fairly long video on your phone. I mean, the final would only need to be like 5 minutes, but you can have pretty long recordings on your phone. But the problem comes in like if you try to email it, it might be too large as an attachment. Certainly, if you try to text it, it'll be too large as an attachment. It's one of the reasons that my videos for you guys are always on YouTube. It's not because I really wanted to do YouTube exactly. It's just it's like, oh, it's the only way. It kind of offloads, they take all the space. I don't have to worry about, having enough storage somewhere like, oh, it's too big as an email attachment. I just have a video on YouTube. And for you guys, I upload that on Canvas. And in your case, you'd be able to send these videos as links to Canvas for me to watch. So speaking of watching, I wanted to walk you through how this normally works, uploading a video onto YouTube. So I was going to do a share screen thing with you real quick. With that being said, your own interface may look different because what I'm showing you, I'm obviously on my desktop, and I'm going to show you how I take a video from my desktop and upload it to YouTube. So you can say record on your phone. That's what most people do, is record on the phone. You can record on your phone, then put it on your computer, and then put it on YouTube. But most people, if you've already got the phone recorded, you can bring up YouTube, the app, on your phone, so long as you have it on there, and upload this way. All right, but let's just jump in here. Yes, y'all can see how nerdy my YouTube is over here. It's all about video games and old cartoons because I'm old. But anyways, so you'll have to create a YouTube account if you don't already have one. Now, if you do already have one, it's the exact same as what, the same account you're using to watch stuff is the account you're going to need to use to upload stuff. That may be a no-duh as I say it out loud, but I had my YouTube account forever before I had to start uploading videos. So it took me a minute to realize, oh yeah, I've already got an account. I've already got, a big chunk of this. So over here, I'm clicking on my channel. All right, my lovely videos over here. So typically I go to manage videos. Takes just a moment, well, maybe more than a moment on this lovely connection we got. All right, and then up here in the upper right-hand corner, create. All right, then I say upload videos. All right, select files. So I don't know if you can see this part, it's on the whole second monitor thing, but I've got like a Zoom video over here. So I drag it over. You get this almost like water falling kind of effect. All right, now this part is where you give it proper title. So the way, if you've never uploaded anything to YouTube before, the default is that it will show you or it will title it whatever you thought, or whatever your video was titled. And if you're recording on the phone, it might have some weird auto-generated phone title. So for my purposes, I might say something like, oral report introduction. Now here's the good news. Some of you may be YouTubers and you know how to do all these fancy things, but you don't need to put in a big description for me or anything like that. You personally don't need to put it on a playlist. I do, just because I have enough videos up now that I'm separating them by classes. Down here, you can just go ahead and click no, it's not made for kids, because your video is not. Then you go to next. All right, and this again, if you want to fiddle with this, if you want to add some bells and whistles, I won't get in your way, but the assignment, none of the assignments require you to do so. So you can just click next. All right, so it's okay. This part sometimes takes a little time, especially for longer videos. This is where it's making sure that you don't have any like copywritten music or anything in there. I don't think there's any circumstances where you would have that in an oral report, but make sure you don't put anything in there that gets copyright strike, I suppose. Click next. All right, here's where it gets interesting. Now, I realized the moment I said you're going to have to use YouTube, there's got to be at least a few of you clutching your heart like, I don't want anybody to see me giving a speech. All right, so here's the thing. Your video, no one can actually see your video, like stumble on your videos unless you click public. Now, if you're comfortable clicking public, that's okay. That's what I do with all my videos now because it's easier than any of the alternatives. But what you can do, if you're worried about someone else like getting this, you can click on private. It's got a little share icon pops up here, share privately, all right? And you can put me in there, using my, assuming you can spell it right, using my school email. So notify via email, I click the little button, done. And so now you'll see it changed, like, okay, it is a private video, as in nobody can just stumble on this searching for things on YouTube, but you have shared it with me. So it's somebody that I will be able to, I'd be able to see the link. But speaking of the link, what do you actually send me? Because I don't know if y'all are looking up here. There's all sorts of weird stuff up here in our URL, but the video that we have been creating, they have a nice, like, here's your video link. So I'm going ahead and copying this. I'm hitting save. And at this point, you're good to go. Like on mine, I think it's still, I need to actually delete that because that's not really an oral report introduction. But hey, it's private and shared only to me. But I was gonna say, it may take it a moment for you to, or for the system to figure out like, okay, it's safe, it doesn't have any copyright stuff, yada, yada. But that link that you saw me copy, that's the link that you can put onto Canvas. And so that's exactly how I view it. As long as I've got the permission, I guess I could view it through my email, depending on the way the alert goes. But that way we have our cake and eat it too. You don't have to worry about the size of your video. It's easy for you to share the video with me, and you don't have to worry about anyone but me seeing the video. All right. So what are we actually doing? If you are a go-getter and just want to upload more, I'll look at anything that you send me, but we're asking you to upload the introduction effectively of your oral report. Now, I mentioned this before, I muttered about this before. It's okay if your report is longer than 5 minutes. 5 minutes is just our minimum. And it also moves us kind of to the safety zone. Many of our videos I've talked about, this isn't like writing essays, but this part at least is in laying this thing out because you have a 5-minute minimum oral report, right? So your introduction really shouldn't be more than a minute long unless you know for a fact you're gonna, have a longer than 5-minute video. So this is just something where, we talked about this before. We've talked about this previously in the video, like an introduction where you introduce us to yourself. You kind of set the tone. Is this going to be a funny presentation? Is it going to be a serious presentation? You define any key terms. You bring us up to speed on the issue you are talking about, and you make whatever your recommendation is. Because like I said, this is one of the few times that this does kind of line up a lot with your kind of essay writing experience, where your recommendation is kind of like your thesis would be in a paper. I'm arguing that the organization needs to do this. So here at the beginning, here at the intro, you got to get our attention. You got to give us the key background information, bring us up to speed, and tell us what the recommendation is. And it's also not very subtle on my part, but this early assignment is also just making sure y'all are comfortable making your YouTube accounts, uploading stuff to YouTube, et cetera, et cetera. Because once you get past that hurdle, it really is my hope that this will go by pretty quickly. Because again, you've already got the technical report written. You're just extrapolating from that. So long story, not very short. Please use these instructions. Please upload a video introduction for your oral report of no more than 1 minute that covers all the stuff that we talked about before. Get our attention, give us background information, give us key info, give us your recommendation. That's it for me. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me or feel free to text me at 863-835-2399. Y'all have a good one. Bye.